Neil Magny is matched up with Jake Matthews, right? Let me get it on the screen real quick. So the last fight, this is the second fight of 2025 for Neil Magny. He's coming off that really big knockout underdog victory against Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. But then you got a Jake Matthews who's coming off of a 3-fight win streak, and the names on this win streak is like eye-catching right here, man. Phil Rowe, Francisco Prado, and then you submitted Chidi and Jaquani, and you suffered like no damage in that fight right there. So like this dude is as fresh as pretty much that they come. Now, Neil Magny, though he's been a gatekeeper, he's been a guy that I think realistically you could say like, hey man, not always the easiest out and could make us some dog money. I don't know against Jake Matthews. I think Jake Matthews as a minus 400 favorite is probably the right line, unfortunately. As much as I like the Haitian sensation, what's your read on this matchup?
It's the right line, Derek. I mean, we got a 38-year-old Neil Magny, and nothing against Neil Magny because he is still very much a dog. And yes, he has been a gatekeeper for a long time. But the sport ends up catching up with you, and especially how we've seen him perform as of late. The younger, the faster, the more athletic guys, the guys who hit a little bit harder and have a little bit more snap usually tend to do better against Neil Magny. And that's everything that Jake Matthews has, man. This dude is sharp striking, crashes in with power, dangerous all around, like very technical. And it seems to be his moment as he's driving into this. Has the momentum pushing him forward, where Neil Magny has continued to be that up and down style of fighter.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you look at the age on these guys as well, 38-year-old Neil Magny versus the young, some would say prime Jake Matthews, 31 years old. You got a boxer puncher versus a dude who's going to have to just win minutes and just jab and move. I don't think that there's going to be the wrestling or the grappling opportunity for Neil Magny in this matchup right here. So when you just take a look at the numbers, I think that this is going to come down to, again, I don't want to overuse this term, but a durability type situation right here. Is Neil Magny durable enough to be able to go 3 rounds with Jake Matthews, or do we see Jake Matthews, who has always been talk about how his boxing has improved so much? Can Jake Matthews go in there and find the knockout? Because Neil Magny, before this big knockout victory, you got starched twice by Michael Morales and Carlos Prates. Those are some powerful guys right there. So you can't compare apples to oranges, but I think that there's something to think about when it comes down to a knockout play. What do you think?
There's something to think about, Derek, especially the TKO, right? Like just overwhelming violence from the Jake Matthews corner. Get a slip happens, you push him up against the cage, you get a takedown some way. Jake Matthews doesn't necessarily have the athletic prowess or the acclaim that a Carlos Prates or a Michael Morales does. So talking about how he got stiffed before, Jake Matthews is almost right there. So it can happen. It's there. But I see a lot more of that pressure style of violence coming out for him. Just not letting Neil Magny breathe, not giving him space to run away and work that range game that Neil Magny's going to want to implement. That's how I see Jake Matthews getting this one done, man. Just absolute pressure and violence.
We'll see too, though, man. I want to see what that calf kick looks like. That calf kick versus potentially getting countered off of the calf kick for Jake Matthews. We'll see where that comes into play. I think this one's pretty simple, though. I think the pick right here, it's consensus. The Celtic kid, Jake Matthews, he should get the job done. He's a massive favorite. I wouldn't really throw this in as a bet per se across the board, but I do think the one thing that is interesting is, again, what's the decision that you make? I think over. When I wrote down in my notes, I wrote down over, so I'm going to stick with it. I'll go over the 2.5 at minus 140. I just think that there's something there with that under. I think that can hit. You seen it the same way?
I was instantly seeing the over, Derek. That's right where my mind is going. It's a minus for a reason, and it's actually pretty close. So you're getting good value from it. The only thing I think, because I'm thinking about that under, Derek, is just shit pops off in that first round, and the speed and the violence is too much. And that's why Jake Matthews is a minus 400 favorite. So it's there. So I don't know if I like it at 2.5, but I'm taking the over.
Yeah. I'll take the over on this one. Keep it simple, right? Let's not overcomplicate the process right here.